Hi all, this is Dr. T. Lokeshwari, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Application PG, Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. Today we are going to discuss about software process and development cycle. What do you mean by software process? In order to develop a software product, we need some software process. That means a set of activities that associated with the result to produce a software product. So it is a framework, that means it is a task that is required to produce high quality of software product. That means in order to develop a software product, we need some software process. So as I told, a software product is nothing but it consists of set of software process. So what are all the software process? What type of activities we should follow? See, in this diagram, if you see that 5 stages are there. The first one, requirement analysis and specification. Second one, design. Third one, implementation and unit testing. Integration and system testing. Last one, operation and maintenance. This process, based on our product, we can able to change few things. For example, the testing, what type of testing we need for our particular software, that we can go. It's not mandatory that all the process we have to do it for all the testing. So the process involves translating the user needs into software requirement. Once the requirement has done, then it will go for the design. Then once the design has been done, it will go for the coding, that means implementation. Once implementation is done, then it will go for testing. Then last one, it will go for maintenance. So these are all the process. Once all this process has been done, then you can develop a software product. So what are all the common things we should know about software process? The 5 things as we discussed in the previous diagram, software analysis. What do you mean by software analysis? Here, based on the requirement defined by the user or customer, we have to specify clearly what is the requirement that comes under software analysis. Then software specification. That means the customer will define what type of software we want to produce and what are all the constraints are there in that particular operation. That we have to check what type of specification that comes under the software specification. Next, software development. Once the that means analysis, specification, that means design has been done, then it will go for the software development. That is nothing but coding part. Here, the software is designed and programmed what language the customer has been chosen. Once it has been done, then it will go for validation. Validation is one of the important thing, that whether the customer, they ask the same type of software. What will be the requirement? All the requirement will be covered. Whether the implementation has been done properly. Everything will be checking in the software validation. Last one, software evaluation. It is nothing but based on the changes, anything as given by the customer or customer, what they want to do some modification in order to do it in the software evaluation. What are all the characteristics of software process? Here the main 5 things I have given. One is the reliability. That means the software should completely free from the error. Once if we are using that software, there is no error should be there. Next one, understandability. That means here the clear understanding of the project should be there. To avoid some ambiguities, here we should clearly specify. Next one, accessibility. What do you mean by accessibility? Here the process should acceptable and usable by the people. So in order to accept, it should be user friendly. Next, supportability. What do you mean by supportability? That means all the process activities, whatever we have specified here, it should support the case tools. The last one, maintainability. What do you mean by maintainability? In order to do any changes, it should be flexible to change. That comes under maintainability. So these are all things we have discussed. Now we are going to discuss about SDLC. what do you mean by SDLC? That SDLC is nothing but software development life cycle. In the software development life cycle, 7 phases are there. So we will see one by one. The first one, feasibility study. What do you mean by feasibility study? Whether the project, whatever we are doing in our organization, is it financial worth? All the technical oriented people are available, is the resources are available, that will be checking in feasibility study. Second one, requirement analysis. What do you mean by requirement analysis? Based on the requirement given by the customer, we are going to classify the requirement into 2 ways. One is functional requirement, another one will be non-functional requirement. That requirement analysis, it will go for the next stage as a SRS document. Third one, design. In the system design, based on the SRS document, they will design the needs of the user. Then development. Development is nothing but here the actual implementation of your software has been done. Then testing, here we, in order to check all the coding has been working properly, is there any bugs will be there, then you have to debug it in this testing phase. Deployment. Deployment is nothing but in order to hand over the software to the client, and we can able to deploy that particular stage. The last one, software maintenance. That means nothing but in order to enhance anything for your future updation, everything will be happening in the software maintenance. So the next session we will discuss about SDLC models. Thank you.